I discovered the Matchbox a few weeks ago. While searching YouTube for strange channels, I came across one with 6 videos, 5 of which were essentially just unedited gameplay files. I usually focus on more cryptic and ciphered videos, but something about this channel caught my interest, and after taking a look, I can tell you that hidden inside this seemingly boring footage is one of the strangest and most interesting puzzles I've ever seen, just waiting to be solved. Clicking on the first video, titled Matchbox Round 1, takes us into a dining room of sorts. We see a strange set of items in the hotbar, and our player walks around, seemingly exploring the room for the first time. They cross into another room filled with pots, and then turn the corner to see another player running right at them. Our player takes a step back before turning to place a sign saying hello, but by the time they look up again, the other player is gone. Confused, this person looks around into a nearby graveyard but is unable to find the other player. They turn back down the corridor into a giant room with a tree in the center, where they encounter someone else. They try saying hello again, and this time the new player doesn't run, introducing herself as Flute. Our protagonist reciprocates, introducing himself as Oak, and Flute asks, almost jokingly, if he's the Spark, to which Oak replies no. But wait, okay, what is all this? Well, this is the Matchbox. As we can find out by clicking on the video titled Matchbox Rules, everything we're about to see is a sort of puzzle. The premise is that 7 players are competing to split $1,000, but one of them is the Spark. The goal of the Spark is to slowly eliminate players one by one until only one is left standing. They do this by marking one person each round by right-clicking them with an open hand. When the round ends after 10 minutes, whoever was marked instantly dies, unless they were protected by the other role, the medic, which also marks someone with an open hand. It's then up to the remaining players to discuss who they think the Spark is and vote them out before the discussion timer ends. The twist is that we don't know who the Spark is either. We're just as clueless as the players in the footage, and using what we see in these 5 videos, it's up to us, the audience, to solve the puzzle of the Matchbox and find the Spark. So with that said, the fact that this player that Oak ran into had their open hand out is already a little concerning, but the round is far from over, and Oak asks Flute if she wants to explore the map with him, but as he does, another player approaches them. Oak and Flute step back, evidently concerned, but the player introduces himself peacefully as Glove. Oak asks if he's the Spark, and Glove replies that he probably isn't, asking if either of them have seen a player called Mustard. Oak says no, and Flute also says no unless Mustard was in the dining hall. Glove says Mustard was in the junkyard, a room we'll soon see, and asks why he even showed up to play if he's just going to hide in a corner all game, to which Flute responds, for the money. After a bit more chatting, the 3 of them decide that if they ever run into each other again, they'll quickly flash their axe as a greeting. That way they'll know it's really one of them. The 3 of them cross into the library, explore for a little, and then venture into the scrapyard, where, as Glove mentioned, they run into a player crouching in the corner, just watching them. The 3 of them turn down the other hallway into the lounge room, exploring a little further before suddenly they get blindness, indicating the round has ended. The meeting starts, and we learn that Flute is dead. From this first round alone, we've already met 5 of the 7 players in this game: Oak, Flute, Glove, Mustard, and whoever this was at the start. Given that Flute must have been marked at some point in the round, it's very likely that Glove could have killed her, though given his immediate reaction in chat, it's unsure. The actual meeting footage is just a long chat conversation though, and for the sake of an entertaining video, I've constructed my own meeting room and will turn these chat messages directly into voice-acted audio. Every line you're about to hear is straight from the meeting chat.
Whoa, Flute?
What? We were just with-
Hello? Are you stupid?
Calm down, it's not a big deal.
Are you kidding me? You can't just go shooting the first person you see. That's ridiculous.
Well, you weren't holding a tool, bro.
What?
Your open hand was out like you were gonna mark me. So surely you'd only do that if you were the Spark.
Genuinely, you must be the Spark. I don't know how someone can be this dumb.
Dude, it makes perfect sense.
Dude, this idiot is gonna be the reason we lose $1,000. Ridiculous.
If you're wondering what Knife is talking about and why he's so aggressive, I can only answer the former. You may have noticed that Oak, and everyone else, is given a crossbow. Each round, they get one arrow that can reveal the name tag of whoever they shoot. Cardboard, seeing that Knife had no item in his hand, must have thought he was going to get marked and shot him, an act that Knife does not take lightly.
Well, if anything bad happens, just know Knife wasn't holding an item.
Come on. There's no way we're serious. You have to be trolling. Can we just vote this guy out? He's practically useless.
With your attitude, we might as well just vote you out and save ourselves the trouble.
And who invited you, smart guy? Last I checked, the girl you were with was the first to go. So don't you think it's a little bit more likely that you're the spark as opposed to me and Blockhead over here?
You think I killed her? That's why I'm surprised.
She was with us, but it would be stupid for Oak to kill her round one while I was also with him. And the same goes for me. If anything, I say that makes both of us less suspicious.
Yeah, likely story.
I think it makes sense. Mustard, do you have any info?
No, I didn't see anything.
Well, you're just a bundle of joy, aren't you?
I could say the same thing to you.
So, who is it?
We don't know
You
yet.
don't know, dimwit. If we knew, the game would be over.
Listen, it's not gonna get you anywhere to insult the guy. How about instead we just think up a plan?
I agree. We only have like 30 more seconds left anyway, so let's at least get our info. I finished the game with Knife and Cardboard. Glove, you and Oak were with Flute right before she died, right?
The round ends with Glove asking this.
And I take it no one was swapped with anyone? If so, that'd be good info to have.
No.
Nope.
The final thing I have yet to mention about Matchbox is that every 2 minutes, by pressing G, the Spark can swap positions with a random player on the map, so checking for swaps seems like a good strategy to get information.
Wait,
Yeah?
how would we know if we were swapped?
You cannot be serious.
With hardly any information after the first meeting, it seems like Glove may be the most likely candidate for who marked Flute, meaning that Oak may have just befriended the killer. Regardless, the next round starts with Oak in the scrapyard, and he runs towards the lounge and immediately bumps into another player exiting the maze. Oak swaps to his axe, and the other player, Glove, does the same. After confirming that neither of them had run into someone else on the way here, Glove mentions that whoever killed Flute was likely the person she saw in the dining hall who she thought could have been Mustard. Oak agrees, and then Glove suggests a stakeout. He leads Oak up a secret path he spotted in the tree at the center of the atrium. Their plan is to hold a stakeout and try to catch someone in a lie, and it's not long before they spot someone. Two players emerge from the direction of the pot room, one following the other. The one in front places a sign, and Oak turns down his FOV to try and get a better look. The text is admittedly hard to read, but seems to say something like, "Stop following me." The other player tries to place a sign in response, but the first player breaks it before they can finish typing. And then this happens again. The first player places another sign before walking away, but quickly runs into someone else emerging from the lounge. Oak watches as the two stare each other down. Before the first player writes something on a sign we can't read, the player on the lounge stares at it and then walks away. The first player then leaves towards the library, with the second following close behind. Oak and Glove immediately get to talking, speculating that what we just watched was Knife and Cardboard, for which the behavior lines up with what we know about both characters. Who they ran into is a bit more ambiguous though, with Oak thinking that it could be Mustard. The round keeps going with no more player sightings, and before it ends, Oak tells Glove to meet him in the viewing lobby next round. When the meeting comes, it's Cardboard who's found dead.
Good riddance.
As if you didn't kill him.
Excuse me?
I mean, Knife, it's obvious to everyone here that he pissed you off in the first round. And since he kept following you around, you couldn't mark anyone without him knowing. So you pretty much had to kill him.
That's way too obvious. Only a wormwit would have killed him in my position. Why would I kill the person following me around and essentially incriminate myself?
Because you're low-key kinda stupid.
Yeah, you're one to talk.
Glove, do you have any information?
Only as much as Oak does. Knife, you entered the atrium with Cardboard, right?
And if I did, how would you know?
Well, if you're not the spark, this is how we clear you.
Except he's not clear.
Yeah, we came in a little bit after the round started.
Did you see anyone else in that time?
Not beforehand. I ran into Cardboard first, and the kid just latched onto me like a parasite. Afterwards, we ran into someone coming from the lounge before I left.
And you met Cardboard where?
The pottery room by the dining hall.
Okay, and who was the player you ran into in the atrium?
You tell me, genius. I have no idea.
Was it Mustard?
It was me.
Well, there you go. Mustard.
This essentially confirms that Oak and Glove were right. This interaction was Knife, Cardboard, and Mustard, with Venus unaccounted for.
And Venus, where were you?
The maze, just looking around for anything interesting.
Seems like it's probably Knife then.
Well, the maze is on the far left, and given Mustard came from the lounge and Venus didn't mention running into him, I take it Venus was closer to the left side than the right.
Okay, and?
And he thinks I could have interacted with Cardboard and marked him before he met Knife.
Exactly.
Not bad logic, but I didn't see anyone that game. I was just trying to learn the layout of the maze.
Fair enough, but all we have is your word.
You know, knowing if the medic was still alive would be good information.
Who do you think is just gonna outright say that they're the medic?
I don't know. Someone like maybe Venus? Mustard? That's a clear right there if no one contests it.
Yeah, a clear and a target on their back. You're just fishing for your next kill, aren't you? That or you're helping out your girl here find her next victim.
You're so unpleasant, you know?
Yo, I hope the spark marks you next.
Oh, I'm so scared. Come mark me yourself then, Oak. Show me how to do it.
Listen, if I was the spark, you would already be out of this game by now.
With that, the meeting ends, and Oak is sent into the library for round 3. But first, let's discuss for a second what we already know. So far, 2 people have died. Flute, who was with Glove and Oak, and Cardboard, who was with Knife. So who could have made these kills? The obvious suspect is Knife. The guy is clearly hostile and has a very good reason to kill Cardboard, though as he pointed out, it would seem stupid to kill the person following him and incriminate himself. As for the Flute kill, it's possible that any of Knife, Mustard, or Venus could have been the player that Flute ran into at the very start of the round. As Glove points out, Venus is totally unaccounted for Cardboard's kill and could have also marked him right away. Mustard, on the other hand, has a very clear alibi. He was at the bottom right with no way to see Cardboard. The most interesting suspect here, though, is Glove. He could have easily gotten the kill on Flute in the first round without Oak noticing, and while the Cardboard kill looks impossible, Glove did start the round coming out of the maze, the same side of the map we know Cardboard started in too, given he met Knife in the pottery room. But evidently we still don't have enough information to accurately confirm who the spark is, so the only way to get it is to watch round 3, where Oak, as promised in the last round, runs from the library through the atrium and to the viewing lobby where Glove is already waiting for him. Glove mentions that he ran into a player in the atrium on his way here, and Oak once again suggests a stakeout, to which Glove of course agrees, suggesting that this time they keep watch on opposite corners of the tree to cover more ground. After making their way up, the two watch for any other players, and a few minutes later, they see someone coming up from the lounge. The player looks around and as Oak watches, runs into the left wing of the map. Oak runs to tell Glove and then returns to his post. A few minutes go by and another player runs out of the library. According to Glove, they ran into the viewing lobby right after. The round then continues silently until this happens. Oak is suddenly swapped into the maze, and we get our first look at the inside of the tunnels. Surprised, he wanders the labyrinth for the last minute of the round, but when the meeting starts...
Guys,
Yes?
I was marked.
What? How?
And the medic saved you?
Yeah, they must have.
So looks like the medic's alive after all.
Oak, you're the only one who knew where I was hiding, and the only person who could have reached me.
Wait, what?
The entire game, I've only interacted with 2 people, you and whoever I saw at the start. No one else could get up to that tree without me or you seeing.
You think that it was me who marked you?
I want to trust you, but there's no one else it could be.
What a surprise.
Oh, is he telling the truth?
No, what? How could I have marked you? It had to have been the other person you ran into.
Well, that's just it. It couldn't have been because someone else must have protected me. Meaning, unless you're the medic and you're telling me that right now that you saved my life, which it doesn't sound like you are, then you must be the spark.
This is a big accusation, but not an unfounded one. Glove being marked but saved by the medic means that of the two people he interacted with, the mystery man in the atrium and Oak, one is the medic and one is the spark, which doesn't look too good for Oak here, but Knife brings up an interesting point.
He could be lying, you know.
I already told you I'm not lying.
Not you, genius. Glove. He might not have been marked. It could be that the spark just didn't kill.
The chat messages literally stop for a small while as everyone realizes that Glove could have been lying about being marked and saved. And if that is the case, and he is actually the spark, then he's just made the boldest play of the game.
Well, if anyone here's the medic and you didn't protect someone, then speak up now and we know that Glove is the killer.
Okay, so this clearly proves that Glove is innocent.
And that makes you the killer.
No, it doesn't. And I can prove it too. Yo, Glove, where did you run into the other players earlier?
Atrium, heading south.
Did anyone run into someone else in the atrium?
Are you stupid? Owning up to that would be admitting you're either the killer or the medic. Although we already know the former is you.
You're not helping here, Knife.
And I don't see you doing anything, Princess. Unfortunate that your only friend here has turned out to be the spark.
There's no proof that it's Oak.
Come on, you can see it just as well as I can.
Glove, did I ever walk up to you during our stakeout on the tree?
Yes. You told me someone came from the lounge.
Did I ever after that though? With a minute left or anything?
You asked for more signs.
And don't you find that odd? After we left the viewing platform, we hardly talked. I would still have a whole stack left, so why would I ask you for more?
Why did you?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Is that not obvious to you? Glove, just think about it. That wasn't me. I got swapped.
How convenient.
He's not lying. I was swapped as well.
Thank you, Mustard. Thank you. Someone was fishing for swaps. They swapped with Mustard and then swapped with me. Saw you, Glove, and then went to mark you, posing it as just asking for signs. That's the killer.
You know, if you are the spark, that is quite the 40 chess move.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
Knife then launches into a speech about why he thinks it's Venus, which Glove agrees with and Oak denies, and the video ends there with Mustard refusing to say where he was swapped to, Knife saying he could be the medic, and Glove arguing for more information. But in the last few seconds, Oak has a realization.
Wait, Knife. You said you were in the maze?
What about it?
That's exactly where I got swapped.
Oak's alibi does check out with what we've seen. It's clear that he was confused when he got swapped into the maze, and as he pointed out, this also makes Glove essentially 100% not the spark. That leaves 3 suspects, with one of them, or maybe even Oak, being the medic. If the medic is Oak, the reason he didn't admit to it could have been to set a trap in case anyone else tried to claim it, in which case Oak would know for sure that it's them. But nobody does claim medics, so we don't know. Mustard is a question mark here because he gave no information besides the fact he was also swapped at some point. Knife said he was in the maze, but no one can prove that, and Venus said she was in the top left all game, which would line up with the behavior of the player we saw in the beginning, but all we have is her word. My best guess on the spark so far would actually be Knife here. His left side location makes sense for the fluke kill in round 1, and it seems like he actually could be double bluffing about both killing Cardboard and admitting to being in the maze when he knows Oak was swapped there, doing the obvious thing both times to avoid suspicion. But once again, we're left largely in the dark without a match. The only way forward is to watch the second to last round, Round 4. Once again, Oak and Glove meet up in the viewing lobby, Oak seeing a random player on his way there, but way too far to have marked him. Oak tells Glove about his growing suspicions of it being Knife, and Glove agrees it's possible, but admitting to being in the maze would be a weird play for Knife to pull. Oak also mentions trusting Venus, and then Glove suggests something interesting. A trap. Using himself as bait to lure the spark over since he's the most innocent person in the lobby. Oak asks how the spark would know it's Glove, and Glove demonstrates just that. shooting himself with the crossbow. With Glove's name tag revealed and the plan in motion, they post up right inside the lava room, Oak hiding in the corner ready to shoot whoever tries to kill Glove the second Glove flashes him the axe signal. The trap is set. The two wait around for a few minutes until Oak is swapped into the maze again. He immediately begins to run, panicking, because if he was swapped here, that means whoever is with Glove at this moment is without a doubt the Spark. All Oak has to do is shoot his arrow at the person next to Glove and he guarantees himself the identity of the Spark. All he needs to do is escape the maze before the round ends. He runs through the tunnels, hitting dead end after dead end after dead end, the seconds ticking by. If he can't get to Glove, he'll die and the whole trap will have been for nothing. He keeps running. A minute left. 45 seconds. 30 seconds left. He's out. All he has to do is make it to Glove. He rounds the bend through the lounge, into the atrium, and there he is. Glove. And the Spark. He's too late. Oak goes hard at Knife, now certain and wanting to avenge his dead friend. All he has to do is convince Mustard to vote with him and Venus.
Guys, I know it's Knife for a fact. He tried to kill Glove in the previous round, failed, and now he's just finishing the job.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I haven't seen Glove the entire game.
Bro, please, as if you expect me to believe that for a second.
I don't expect you to believe anything, dimwit. Though unlike Cardboard, I wouldn't put it past you being the Spark. I have a hard time believing even you would be this stupid to accuse me here.
So then what were you doing all game then?
Nothing. I was just exploring around the labyrinth again. I even ran into someone in the lounge. They can verify I was there.
That was me.
I also ran into someone in the lounge, so that doesn't mean much. I could have ran into Mustard, you could have ran into me, there's no way of knowing who's who. Oh, were you with Glove the entire round?
Yes, I was, in the volcano room, and he told me specifically no one else had interacted with him all game, so it had to have been Knife.
You have no grounds to even think it's me. Did you even see anyone else? And you know what I was going to say before you accused me for literally no reason. I got swapped. Tell me one good reason right now that Mustard and Venus should even humor your argument.
Oh, you got swapped? Well, so did I. I got swapped away from Glove, and that person must have marked him after the swap. I just wasn't fast enough to find out it was you.
Bullshit! I got swapped into the library, not a soul was there.
Wait, that's a blatant lie. I got swapped into the labyrinth, and that's exactly where you said you were.
Oh, come on, you just want me out. It's so obvious. You're just trying to cover for the fact that you pretended to befriend Glove just so you could kill him out and throw it on me. Nice plan, genius, but it's not gonna work.
Are you serious? That's what you're going with? Venus, Mustard, tell me you guys aren't seeing this. This guy's obviously been hostile the whole game and he's clearly the Spark. He killed Cardboard because he annoyed him, and then killed Glove because he was onto him. He's obviously now just trying to bluff his way out of this.
So, Knife, you said you were swapped into the library, and Oak, you were swapped into the labyrinth?
Yes.
Yes, but he's lying.
Mustard, you weren't swapped, were you?
No.
Okay, neither was I, meaning that for certain, one of the two of them is lying.
Yeah, and that
Probably
person is
Knife.
Knife. Exactly.
You know you're the worst Spark in the history of this game, and there's no chance you win, right? Even if you vote me out here, you made it clear to Mustard and Venus there's a 50-50 between the two of us. They just hide until the next meeting and you lose.
Well, luckily, we won't have to worry about that since once we vote you, the game's gonna be over.
Venus, I know you're an idiot, but Mustard, I have hope that you have at least some semblance of reason, and we'll vote Oak here.
Mustard, listen to me. I was in the volcano room, all game with Glove. We tried to set up a trap together using Glove as bait. It's just I got swapped away, and in that time, the Spark, aka Knife, must have marked Glove. Vote with us, and I promise we will win. It is clearly Knife. Venus has an alibi running into you. You know you didn't get swapped. It has to be Knife.
I think he's right, Mustard. I'm pretty sure it's Knife.
Mustard, I was in the labyrinth all game, got swapped into the library, and then met you afterwards in the lounge. All I did was return to the maze. You saw me. Vote Oak, and the game ends here.
The voting phase comes. Knife is out.
Oh my god, idiots.
But as we can see, the game isn't over. There's one round left. Knife wasn't the spark. Oak spawns in, and immediately he knows one thing to be true. The killer is still alive. He runs, loading his crossbow and anxiously looking over his shoulder in case someone is following, and after hesitating for another second, he runs face first into the maze, trying to hide out the round. If he can survive here, and so can the other two, they have a chance at voting out the true spark, whoever it may be. Oak carefully wanders through the maze, peeking corners and crouching so as to not make a sound. Finally, he finds a path to hide in, crossbow at the ready, and he waits. It's Venus. She's hiding just like Oak and tells him to follow her, that she knows the route of the maze. Oak obliges, trusting her with his life. Venus leads him through the network of tunnels and into a small room we caught a glimpse of earlier, an area with a furnace and a crafting table. Venus tells him that they'll be safe here and there's no way Mustard can find them. Just in case he triggers a swap though, they decide to create a code word. Whenever one of them writes a sign saying torch, the other will say ketchup. If someone doesn't answer correctly, the other one knows that they've been swapped. For a few quiet minutes, Venus and Oak shuffle back and forth in the small room, drawing out the timer. If they can survive for these final minutes until the round ends without getting marked, they can vote out Mustard and win. It all comes down to this. 3 minutes left. Oak triggers the code word. Venus responds correctly. 2 minutes left. Oak asks Venus what they should do if Mustard finds them. Venus says that won't happen. 90 seconds left. Venus triggers the code word. Oak responds correctly. 60 seconds left. This is it. Mustard chases Oak down the hallway, sprinting after him. 40 seconds left. All Oak has to do is not get marked before the round ends. 30 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. 10.
What? We all survived?
I thought for sure we lost.
Wait, so it's just Mustard. Venus, that was perfect. I barely escaped him. We just vote him here and we win.
Oh, you're the one who ran?
Well, yeah, though I'd imagine Venus would run too.
Oak, it's not you, is it?
What? No. Why? It's clearly Mustard here.
Oak, I was backed into a corner and I couldn't run. But Mustard didn't go after me.
What? Maybe he wasn't thinking straight. He probably didn't even notice you.
It's you. You're the spark. You were trying to run to act innocent.
Hello? Yo, if I was the spark, I would've just won there.
That's what I can't figure out. Why wouldn't you just mark me right away and win the game?
Maybe because I'm not the spark?
It's because he didn't want to gamble on the medic showing up. If he marked you, then there's a chance that the medic could still be alive and save you. He probably was waiting to mark you right before the round ended.
Okay, you actually sound dumb now, bro. Like, what kind of plan is that?
Why don't you think Oak could just be the medic? He could have protected me and ran away.
Because I'm the medic.
Okay, well, wow, what a great lie. Now you bring that up?
Oak, if you are the medic, you can stop hiding it. Just say it so I know I can trust you.
Venus, I'm saying this because I know you can trust me. I am not the medic. Mustard isn't either because he's the spark. I have no role. I'm not the medic, I'm not the spark. I'm innocent. That's it.
Mustard, I still don't get it. If Oak was the spark, why didn't he just kill you then at the end of the maze?
Because I'm not the spark? If I was, you're right, I could have just won.
He was probably just scared that I was protected, that you were somehow the medic and marked me. He didn't want to gamble on me possibly surviving and knowing he marked me. Even if it was a small chance that you were the medic, it would mean he was clearly exposed. He knows he has a better chance at just gaining your trust and voting me out.
So riddle me this, medic. Why did you chase me into the maze?
To save you!
What?
I figured that the one who ran into the maze first was more likely to be the innocent one, as they would think I was the spark. That was the person I wanted to protect, but it looks like my gamble was wrong.
Okay, Venus, there's no way you believe him.
Think about it this way. It was either him or Knife from the last round. You know you're innocent. Knife was voted out, so you have to vote for Oak.
I could just as easily see it being you, Mustard.
Just as easily? What? Yo, it is obviously him.
It's him, Venus. Vote Oak and we end the game here.
Venus, surely you don't believe him. Surely you know I'm innocent, right? I was literally with you the whole round. You know just as well as I do, if I was the spark, I would have won. You have to trust me. Venus.
That's the last video on Matchbox, and with that, the end of the experiment. The question, of course, remains, who was the spark? What happened there? Who won? Matchbox doesn't give us an answer. It's up to us to piece together the clues and decide for ourselves who we think the spark is. Was it Venus? Mustard? Or has it always been the player we've been watching this entire time? Oak. Matchbox is designed in a way that you could be watching the killer and have no idea. Right-clicking with your hand doesn't look like anything. Pressing G to swap doesn't either. In fact, if you trace the footage back, for each kill, Oak was there the entire time. Flute, glove, glove again. Oak was always there. Hand out, ready to mark. If you consider for a second that his reactions to getting swapped were just an act, it could really be that Oak was the spark. We've been watching the killer all along. Except, it doesn't line up. There's one kill here that Oak couldn't have possibly made. Cardboard. The entire second round, Oak was only close to Glove, and no one else. Unless this player was somehow Cardboard, and Glove was putting on an elaborate act somewhere else in the map, Oak couldn't have marked Cardboard. Oak cannot be the spark. So that leaves us with two options, Mustard and Venus. Venus is by far the character we know the least about. She's been present in hardly any of Oak's footage until the last round, and we don't know where she's been all game. As a result, it's very possible that she could have really been behind every murder we've seen. She marked Flute and Cardboard, swapped with Oak to mark Glove, and swapped with Oak to mark Glove again. But if it is Venus, why she didn't just just vote Mustard out and instead let herself be gaslit into voting Oak is a mystery. Mustard, on the other hand, has more of an alibi. He was allegedly in the scrapyard round 1, so marking Flute would have been difficult, and he met up with Cardboard and Knife in the second round, so marking Cardboard there would also be a bit of a stretch. That being said, we don't know his exact whereabouts, so it could well have been him too. If it was Mustard though, then who was the medic? Venus and Oak didn't claim it, and we know the medic saved Glove, which can only mean one thing. Was Knife the medic? Unless it was Glove and he lied about being saved to bait someone out. The information just doesn't line up. The stories are incomplete. The Matchbox experiment doesn't tell us directly who the spark is, instead giving us pieces of broken information. We may never get a direct answer from the channel itself, but if anything, that just makes it a mystery more worth solving. It could be that maybe there's a puzzle piece I missed, and maybe one of you watching will be the one who solves the Matchbox. Until then though, good luck.